Yep.
I'm gonna go. Yep, I got it recording already. View, enter full screen.
Okay. What are we doing here? You guys see? Let's download. Download again. Okay. Run. You download. All right. Okay. It says. All right. It's opening again.
Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Everybody's coming back in. Sorry about that, everyone. We had to restart it.
What?
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We're ready to roll now.
All right. He's going to tell us all of that? Okay. No, we can't. We can hear us over there. No. Yes.
You logged in almost, Sue? There we go. I see you guys now. I see News Writing Pioneer Lab. Jen's in again. Sue. You guys logged in? Very good. Perfect. Easy. Once you're over there, send me a message in the chat bar. All right, everybody. Guys, if you can hear me, say hello one more time in the chat web. All right, perfect. Let's get going. Guys, thanks for your patience. Sorry about all that. I have to be able to record it for the other ones that aren't here, and we are recording now. So we will get going. Let me go ahead and enter full screen. The guy that's missing, he can listen to the recorded version. Everything will be fine. Guys, if you have any questions in the meantime, turn on your microphone, interrupt me because I can't see your hands, okay? So don't sit there with your hand up in the air. Just make sure to come on the microphone and say, hey, I have a question. We're going to have Q&A at the end of this. So we will cover, basically we'll make sure that nobody has any questions that are unanswered. And yeah, this should take about half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to go over all the essential pre-trip information, and then yeah, we'll answer questions that you guys have about the trip, about France, about the program, etc. Okay, so getting started. I'm going to go into full screen now. There we go. All right, guys. So your flight time is at 2:20 p.m. on Monday, May 16th. Guys, do not worry about taking notes right now because I'm going to send you everything that we cover electronically. So just listen, relax, and I'll send this all to you after the meeting. So the flight time is going to be at 2:20 p.m. We request that you get there around 12 p.m., 2 hours before the flight, so you have adequate time for check-in, to go through security, and all that. Additionally, it'll give you a little bit of cushion in case there's some kind of unplanned events. You have difficulty with your vehicle, you sleep in, something like this. You want to make sure you have plenty of cushion to get to the airport. So make sure you're there at least 2 hours ahead of the flight. 12 p.m. would be a good time. You don't need to wait in the in the general check-in area. Once you get there, go ahead to the American Airlines desk or to one of the self-kiosks. Put in this 6-digit code here, this TQSDBB. That is your reference code. That's your travel code, okay? So just go to the American Airlines desk or the self-kiosk, put that code in there, and then you'll be able to access your boarding passes and you'll be able to print those, all right? You're flying from Oklahoma City, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then from Dallas, Fort Worth to Charles de Gaulle. And that'll be an overnight flight. So you'll be arriving the next morning in Paris. They'll feed you on the transatlantic flight from Dallas to Paris. You'll have a nice dinner. There'll be wine. There'll be other drinks, whatever you want, will be available. And then, but the Oklahoma City DFW flight will probably just be pretzels and peanuts and water or juice, soft drink, something like that. If you're lucky, sometimes they're cutting back on that. But for sure, you'll have a nice dinner going from DFW to Charles de Gaulle. On the way out, when you're returning on May 25th, your flight's going to be at 9:40 in the morning, leaving Paris back to Chicago to OKC. Make sure that guys that you arrange transportation to and from the airport. So make sure you get a ride. If you're going to leave your car at the airport, they have parking lots ranging from $4 to $6. Okay. But easiest way is get a ride, have somebody drop you off, have somebody pick you up, and provide them that airline, that flight number and the destinations, and they'll be able to track your flight. Guys, all this information coming up next. Read all this on your own. It's basically the dimensions of the bags and everything. I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to encourage you to carry on your luggage on the flight for a couple reasons. One, we want to be able to get out of the airport as soon as possible once we get there so we can begin the trip. You guys are going to have an incredible 9 days in Paris, so we want to make sure that you experience as much as possible. We don't want to have to sit and wait at the baggage claim area for bags that arrive late or possibly don't arrive or any kind of things like this. So we want to try to avoid all of that. All right. So carry your bag on. It'll be much easier. Now, if you have some type of liquid medication and it's in such a large container that you can't carry it on because of the liquids policies, then obviously you can check your bag on. Okay. But flying over to Paris, unless you have that situation, unless you have liquid medication, you don't need to check your bag on. Carry it on with you. You're allowed one bigger bag that will go in the overhead above you, and you're allowed an additional backpack that will go under your seat. For a trip this length, that's all you need. Do me a favor, please don't bring a big 6-month suitcase, okay? Everything is smaller in Paris, in Europe in general. Room on the metro, on the subway can be quite tight. So if you have large luggage, cumbersome luggage, you'll be in the way. So, and you'll notice, especially in Paris, how small and tight everything is. Okay. So when you go into cafes, there's really not a lot of room. Stairways can be very narrow. Elevators, if they do have an elevator, which is rare, a big bag's not going to fit in there. It's unnecessary. It's too big. You don't need it. So pack light, pack small, and the trip will be much easier for you. Basically, before you go buy a brand new, I'm going to talk about bags here in a second. These bags right here, these are bags that I recommend for a trip like this or a rolling suitcase. But if it is a rolling suitcase, make sure that it's one that will fit in the overhead, okay? So follow the dimensions that are up above here. Follow these dimensions, measure it, and you'll be good to go. If you're worried that it might be that your bag might be a little bit bigger than those dimensions, you can go to the airport and stick your bag inside of the blue containers, the blue crates at the check-in area, and that will determine if it's a proper size or not. If your bag happens to be 1 inch, 2 inches bigger than what's suggested here, don't worry. Okay, this is just a suggestion. You can always push your bag in a little bit more. So, before you go buy a brand new bag, look at what's around you, talk to your family, talk to your friends, and see if you can get a bag from them before you go buy your own. These are bags that I recommend. This backpack here on the top left, this personal bag that I use. This bag will, it fits in the overhead. It's carry on, and I can pack anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks worth of clothing in there. So for a 10-day trip, guys, again, you definitely don't need a bag that's bigger than the carry-on size, okay? You can either go for a backpack or you can go for like a sling strap kind of duffel sports bag. Or again, like I said earlier, you can take a carry-on size small roll-in suitcase, not a big one. In addition to your big bag, you're going to need a smaller bag, a bag that you can go under your seat. Okay, this bag will also be good for when you're going around Paris during the day. You can have your guidebook in there, you can have your camera in there, your water bottle, your map, etc. Maybe some packed lunch, whatever you have. You're going to want to have your big bag that you keep all your clothes in, everything like that, and then you're going to have a smaller bag which will be a day pack for yourself. Okay, so a backpack, or ladies, if you want a side bag, a purse like that, whatever. It's entirely up to you. Okay, just something smaller that you can carry around the city with you during the day, and keep your essential items in it. Now, guys, I'm going to go over just a sample packing list. Obviously, these are just suggestions, okay? Bring whatever you want to bring. Just try to limit to overpacking, okay? That's it. You need a duffel bag or a backpacking bag, so a larger bag to carry all your clothes, and then you need an additional day pack or a handbag, all right? You need adequate multi-layer clothing for the duration of trip, okay? It's the weather's going to be great. You're in Paris in May. The weather's for sure going to be very, very nice, but there may be a couple days of rain, or they might get a little chilly. You want to have some options, okay? You're not going to need a coat, but maybe a light jacket or something like that. Worst case scenario, if you don't bring something and you forget it and you're not on an extreme limited budget, then you can go buy another jacket there. They have H&M, they have they have Pull and Bear, they have Zara, they have all these stores, plus all the fancy French designer stuff, which is definitely way too expensive in my opinion. But if you're not on a budget, go for it. You can get something nice and fancy in one of the fashion capitals of the world. Okay. You need some jeans, some pants, the French, they don't really wear shorts too often. Okay, most of the guys will wear jeans and pants the majority of the time, but obviously, if you want to wear shorts, wear shorts. It's up to you. You'll need some t-shirts, evening wear, something to wear out. Kevy, the local guide, he's awesome. He'll take you guys out in the evening. He'll show you a few places where people hang out. And there's lots of organized events by the hostel where we stay. So, there's pub crawls, these kinds of things. So if you do want to go out in the evening, if you do want to see some of the local life where the locals go at night, you might want to go dancing or something, bring something for that occasion, okay? Additionally, you're going to need pajamas. So basically, the rooms are split up by single gender. So guys will be in one room, girls will be in the other room, and it's with travelers from our program. Okay, so there won't be other travelers from just random backpackers. It's just people from our trip. The rooms will be split up in either a quad bed, like four beds in one larger room, or it'll be like a triple, 3 beds in one larger room, like that. The rooms are very spacious. And also they're in suite, so you'll have your own private bath and toilet in that room, so it won't be one in the hallway that you have to share. So that's quite nice. The hostel we're staying plugin is very, very nice. It's in the contact us section on here, so you can check that out afterwards. Look at pictures, videos, stuff like that. You guys will like the place, and it's a good area as well. It's in Montmartre, so it's a very beautiful area. You have easy access to the city, so we're not very far from a metro station, so it's perfect. Back to the packing list. So, pajamas, guys, since we are having a shared room, you need to bring appropriate pajamas, okay? So bring something appropriate to sleep in. Flip-flops for showering. If it's not my shower, I'm wearing flip-flops. That's my rule always. So I would definitely recommend bringing a little cheap pair of flip-flops to wear in the shower. Additionally, you're going to need durable multi-purpose shoes, okay? Guys, when I say durable, multi-purpose, something that's comfortable, something that you can walk in, something that you can wear out in the evenings as well. Okay. I don't recommend bringing, ladies, I don't recommend bringing heels. Okay. Unless you want to get, very dressed up, just because there's a lot of cobblestone, and heels and cobblestone can be a nightmare, and it can be hysterical looking as well. So I definitely, unless I don't recommend heels, but if you want to wear them, if you want to be fancy in Paris, go ahead and bring them. Also, guys, for walking, you're going to need comfortable shoes for walking. On average, you're going to be walking anywhere from 6 to 12 miles per day. That's the norm in Europe. People walk everywhere, so they walk from the hostel or the hotel to the metro station, and then they get on the metro, and then they walk from the metro station to their work, or they walk to the market and then back. etc. Okay, so you will be walking a lot, so definitely bring shoes that are already broken in. Don't bring brand new shoes that you've never put on before. On the trip, you want something that's comfortable, something that's broken in, something that will prevent you getting blisters. Okay, well, that's the thing. We don't want you to get blisters on like day one or something, and then you're in pain for a few days. That's just that can be avoided entirely. If you're not too used to walking yet, then start walking a little bit. It's definitely not going to be as interesting walking, here back in or in Dallas or in Oklahoma City or wherever you are, as it will be in Paris, right? Sometimes you feel like you're walking in the same neighborhood for half an hour, but try to start. If you don't walk often, try to start doing a little bit. It'll make an easy transition for your trip. All right. You guys need to bring a quick dry shower, a quick dry towel. Okay. The place we're staying, you can rent towels. They have them for it's €2, and you rent a towel. It's clean. It's and all that, and you can use that for the rest of your trip. Or you can bring your own quick dry towel. I recommend quick dry. That way, it won't smell like mildew halfway through the trip. It won't retain as much water. It will dry quicker and therefore stay smelling better throughout the trip. You need to bring a reusable water bottle. The water's patable in Paris, so instead of having to buy expensive bottled water and using all that plastic, you might as well get a reusable water bottle, either a collapsible one or a Nalgene bottle or something like that. One second, guys. There's a little notification. I want to see if there's a question. One sec. My phone might die. Okay, don't worry, Jen. If your phone dies, you can watch the recorded version. All right, back on. So guys, get a reusable water bottle so you can fill up with the tap water and save that money. Additionally, you're going to need a combo lock or a padlock, just a little small one. You'll have a locker in the room, so you can keep your your belongings in that locker. So bring a little combo lock. You're definitely going to want a camera. You want to be able to record everything, document it, remember your trip for sure. If you do like to keep a travel journal, I highly recommend it. It's great. It can bring a trip back to life for you. In addition, if that's part of your assignment, if you are taking the course and you need to keep a journal, then better make sure you bring your journal. Guys, wet wipes and hand sanitizer. In my opinion, definitely the best things for a traveler to have. Anytime you get off the metro, you get off the airplane, you can take a little wet wipe bath. You can wipe your hands off after you get out of the metro and eat some delicious street food, a little hand sanitizer. Those are great for everyday traveling, especially if you're using a lot of public transportation. So I would definitely recommend that. Travel size toiletries. So since we're going to be checking our bags on the plane, and since we're going to be carrying our bags on the plane, not checking them on, you guys need travel size toiletries. You're allowed a quart size bag, okay, and you can fill that bag up with different liquid containers. But each container can only be 3.4 ounces. If you go to a Target or a Walmart or a Walgreens or any of these places, they have dedicated travel sections just for this purpose. So you can buy the stuff that's already prepackaged and get those. Or if you have your own products at home that you want to transfer over, then you can buy the empty tubes and fill those up. If you don't want to do either of those, then you can just go to a little store when you get to Paris. There will be one in the neighborhood for sure, and you can get shampoo or whatever you might need. Okay, but since it's only a 9-10 day trip, guys, you shouldn't need that many toiletries. So packing in that quart size bag, and you're good to go. Just make sure nothing's over 3.4 ounces, otherwise they're going to toss it, and you don't want to lose an expensive perfume or or cologne or whatever you might be bringing that's over 3.4 ounces. Don't bring it, and they won't throw it away. Okay. You need I recommend having a small trash can liner bag, one for dirty clothes, one for clean clothes. Whenever I'm backpacking, I like to put my clothes in just in different plastic bags anyways, separate them by, t-shirts are in this bag, underwear, socks are in this bag, things like that. It makes it easy to get in and out. Yes. Do we have a question? Wait, hold on. There was a noise. Let's see if someone raised. Okay. Nope. We are still good. Go back in, guys. Guys, Ziploc bags, it's just additional separation. If there's a sudden downpour or whatever in Paris and there's a lot of rain, you might need to keep your phone dry or whatever. It doesn't hurt to have a little Ziploc bag to keep your electronic valuables in. You definitely want to bring an extra black and white copy of your passport. I would recommend two. Keep one in each bag. That way, if you do lose your passport, we can get you to the embassy, and it will make it a lot faster if you have the black and white copy of your passport. Okay. Additionally, you want to bring your school ID if you're a student. There are tons of discounts that you can get by being a student. So bring your school ID. Ask them if they have student rates. You guys already have a lot included in your program, so you're going to be having a lot of fun. You're going to be busy. You're going to be occupied. You're not going to get bored. But during free time, there is ample time for doing different activities. So, why pay full price when you can pay student rate? So if you do have a school ID, bring the school ID, save that money for something fun, okay? You guys, this is very important. You will need a US to EU electric socket adapter, okay? You might need a converter as well. It depends on how new your electronics are. So if you have something if you have an iPhone or, a new camera or something like this, most of the time new electronics have built-in converters in the charger already, okay? If you're unsure, take a look at the charger, whatever you plug into the wall, and it will say on there if it can handle 100 to 240, okay, or 110 to 220. If it says that it can handle that, you're good to go. You don't need a converter, okay? If it doesn't say that, then you should probably just go ahead and buy the converter anyway. You can get an international converter slash adapter that has all of the different adapters for the different continents. So you can have South America, you can have Asia, you can have Europe, you can have the UK, and a couple more options. Those cost about $10. You can get those online. You can get those at Radio Shack. You can get those at Target, at Walmart, all these places I've already mentioned. That's one that has built-in converter and all of the adapters. If you have electronics that already have the built-in converters, okay, then you can just get one of these. This right here is what the European sockets look like, okay? That's what an electrical plug looks like in Europe. Two long circular bars like that. And so you plug your device into the back of that, and then you're able to plug that into the wall. So just make sure you check right here, guys. Make sure you, very bottom, check your electronics, 100, 240, make sure it can handle it. Ladies, if you're bringing a blow dryer or hair straighteners, these are the ones that have the most problems typically in Europe. They're the ones that they just use too much energy and they end up getting fried no matter what, even if you do have the converter. Additionally, it normally knocks out the power in the building. So it can be quite expensive. So a lot of the places that we stay will provide they have hair dryers that you can rent from them or borrow from them with a deposit. Okay. So if you do need a hair dryer or something like that, I would check and make sure they have them first. If not, if you want to bring your own, make sure that it's a travel one that won't use as much energy. But at the same time, most of the time, even those travel ones, they eventually end up blowing up over there. So they end up getting fried. So I would use the ones that are provided. Okay. Guys, down here below we have the travel checklist. You need to make sure that you check off all of these things prior to the trip. I'm going to send you a medical form as well as the release form after this meeting. It will also have the orientation, meeting materials, and it will also have it'll have a link to the video as well. But I'm going to need you to send me a photocopy or scanned copy of your medical form. Forgive me, actually, you're going to be doing that online electronically. Just make sure that you send that back to me. Additionally, if you haven't applied for your passport yet, you need to do so immediately. You're going to have to pay to get it expedited. It's going to typically takes about 3 to 4 weeks. If you don't have your passport, do it first thing tomorrow. Otherwise, you might be risking not being able to fly. And we've already purchased airline tickets, so that'll be problematic. Go take care of your passport if you haven't. Hopefully, everyone's done that. I hope so. If not, let me know. You go to the county clerk, get it taken care of ASAP. It'll cost Normally it costs 120. It's good for 10 years, but to do it expedited, it might be maybe double that. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyway, hopefully everybody has it. Most importantly, you need to notify your bank that you're going to be out of the country from May 16th to 25th, okay? If you don't notify them that you're going to be out of the country, they will most likely, 95% of the time, they're going to freeze your card, which means that you will not be able to withdraw euros from the ATMs while you're over there. Definitely very important. Notify your bank. Make sure that they make a note on your account, and you'll be good to go. It always happens to someone on the trip, so try to not be that person on this one, and you'll be good to go. Worst case scenario, if you can't access your card, we'll lend you money until you can get it for the duration of that day till you can call the bank and have them open it up again. Okay. You need to arrange transportation to and from the airport the day of departure, and the day of arrival when you return back to the States. Okay, so make sure you have a ride to and from the airport. Debit card. Guys, very important. I'm going to talk about this one just for a second. Please do not bring a lot of U.S. cash to Europe and as you're spending money, okay? And hoping that you're going to go and exchange it and convert it, okay? You're wasting a lot of money by doing that. Additionally, you're putting yourself at risk because what happens if you get pickpocketed and you lose your $300 or your $500 or however much you brought, right? Or you just misplace it and then you don't have access to your spending money, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is whenever you go to these conversion places, they're going to charge you very high commissions, so you're wasting your money. Okay, the dollar and the euro have never been this close before, so take advantage of that. Don't waste your money while you're there. Okay, don't bring a lot of U.S. cash and exchange it. Those are the two reasons why. One, it's going to be expensive. You're going to lose money. You're wasting money. And two, it's not safe. And three, it's a pain in the butt to have to go find a conversion place that's not going to rip you off as badly. Okay, so save us all the trouble and bring a debit card instead. Okay, and you might want to bring a backup debit card in case one gets damaged. Now, with your debit card, some banks will charge you an international fee. Okay, that might range between $3 and $5. So you're going to want to, when you make a withdrawal, you're going to want to get a significant amount out. Okay, you're going to want to get out maybe like 100 euros or like 80 euros or something like that. Don't just pull out 10 euros, things like that, because otherwise, your international charges are going to catch up to what you're withdrawing. Okay. A lot of banks, First Fidelity Bank, I know for sure in Oklahoma, and a few others, they reimburse you for your international transactions. So for your international fees. So they don't charge you for those. And that's a great way to save $3 or $5. So check with your bank, see what's available. Make sure that you bring at a minimum one debit card. Two's recommended. Or bring one debit card and a backup credit card. Okay. You can use credit card in most places. But some places, if we're at a flea market or which they have great markets in Paris, it's going to be cash only, some of them. Or some of them, like if you're at a bar or whatever, they might say, sorry, there's a 10 euro minimum or something to be able to use your card. So just keep that in mind, okay? Sometimes it's good to have local cash on you. And we're going to take you to the ATMs right when you get off the plane. So you'll be able to go. One sec, guys. I got another notification. I want to see if my phone might die. Okay, we're still good. So debit card, backup credit card, or two debit cards. Guys, bring adequate money for the trip. Would recommend bringing anywhere from 300 to 500. You can definitely do it for less. Okay, if you're on a budget, shoot me an email and I will send you a lot of tips and suggestions for how to save money while you're there. Okay, so depending on your budget, but you want to be able to do what you want to do while you're there. So bring adequate money for that. And make sure that whatever debit card you're bringing, that debit card is connected to the account that has the money in it, okay? Trip materials from professors, whatever they may be. If you are taking the course, make sure you bring your materials so that way you can succeed in that course. Make sure that you bring your bag, that the bags are packed within the airline regulations. Use our packing list, guys. It will help. Just pack as light as possible. And then, you can always bring a bag with you, an additional bag that folds up that you can put in your main bag if you're going to get a bunch of souvenirs or clothes or whatever, and then check that bag on your way home. If it's a couple days, if it's a couple days late on return, that's fine. You're going home. You have your supplies. It's just mainly when we're flying over, we want to carry our bag on instead of checking it, so we can just get out of the airport ASAP, and you know exactly where your stuff is. Guys, below here, I've got the contact information, hostel plugin, phone, address, everything like that. You guys can check it out after here. It's cool. You're going to like it. It's got great reviews. We enjoy staying there. And Kevy is an amazing guide. He always has 5-star reviews. We're happy to have him as a teammate, as a brother. He's an incredible. He'll be a great ambassador to Paris for you guys, and he'll show you so many parts of the city that most travelers or tourists don't visit. So you're going to see all the essentials. You're going to see all of the great stuff. Nothing's changed in the itinerary, guys. So when you have time, go through that itinerary. Look at what all you're going to be seeing. Do some pre-trip research, and it'll make the trip more enjoyable for you. But yeah, Kevy's he'll be an excellent friend for you during the trip, and he'll show you an amazing time. I promise you that. Guys, on the last page here, you have flight names. I need you, not right now, but when I send this to you, I need you to just look at those names and make sure that there aren't any typos or misspellings. Okay, we want to take care of that prior to the day of departure, so that way it's just smooth sailing for everyone. Last one thing I wanted to mention that is often asked, but so I figured we need to start including it into the orientation meeting. A lot of people ask about data plans. Yeah, so data plans with the cell phones. Should I get a data plan, or what should I get in this case? I don't recommend getting a data plan. They're overpriced. We have Wi-Fi everywhere where we're staying. We have Wi-Fi. You have access to Wi-Fi in tons of cafes as well. It's free. It's strong. Use free applications. Use WhatsApp. Use Viber. Use FaceTime, Facebook calls, Skype, etc. Yeah, you can use all these for free. Yeah, you have Wi-Fi, so do that. All right. You don't need to get expensive roaming and stuff like that. I recommend denying access for roaming the entire duration of your trip, and then turning your phone back on when you get back. Now, if you want to get I've heard texting plans can be affordable. I don't know. Normally what I do is I get a SIM card from the country that I'm visiting. Yeah, so if I'm going to be staying there for an extended period of time, I'm going to get a French SIM card. So that way, I can call people there or text people there and handle things without having international charges. Okay, so you probably won't need that, right? Unless you're super sociable and you're going to meet a ton of people while you're there, then we can show you where to buy a SIM. But you probably won't need that. You should be able to suffice just with your cell phone, your mobile phone, with the Wi-Fi, at the place. So that's one thing that's brought up a lot. So I thought I would touch on that. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up to Q&A because I've been talking a lot. Thank you for paying attention. We'll open it up for Q&A, and then we can answer all the questions. And so hopefully the people that aren't attending right now, hopefully their questions will be answered as well. So Sue, or the News Writing One Pioneer, if you guys, and Jen, if you can, turn on your microphone so I can hear you ask questions, okay? If you don't mind.
What's on?
There we go. I hear you guys now.
Okay, we're here.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are we going to have access to some kind of where we can wash our clothes, or will there be a laundromat?
Yeah, there are laundromats that you can use. Typically, you'll drop it off, and then the next day you can go and pick it up. But with the size of the bags that you're allowed to carry on the plane, you could easily put at a minimum 2 weeks worth of clothes inside of that bag. So I don't really think there would be a need for you to do laundry while you're there.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are places. Kevy can show them to you. But again, I would save that money for something more fun.
Christian, is there drop-off laundry, do you think, in the hostel?
I'll check.
Okay. Some actually have that.
Yeah, that is true. Many places do. I will check.
Is there a swimming pool at the hospital?
No, there's not a swimming pool. But there are swimming pools that you can use in the in the city and stuff like that. If you do want to go swimming.
If you want to go to Paris to swim.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the website, it said that we were going to have 2 traditional dinners. Do we have to dress a certain way for the dinners, or?
Yeah, basically, in France, they take their fashion seriously, right? But you can definitely dress casual and whatnot. But I would recommend, don't wear athletic gear. Wear something, something cute, something that you would wear, to if you were going out to dinner, here, and you want to, look a little bit nicer. You don't need to get super dressed up, but remember that they do take fashion seriously. So it might be nice to have something cute to wear to dinner on the welcome and farewell dinner. Yeah, for sure. Guys, I would recommend wearing jeans and a nice shirt or something like that. It can be a nice T-shirt as well. Yeah, it can be a nice T-shirt. Doesn't have to, but something different than what you were walking around in all day. As getting sweaty.
What will the temperature be, Christian?
Yeah, so guys, the temperature can definitely range. I would say I'll look it up for you real quick. I would say lower 80s, mid 80s. Let's see, average temp Paris May. Let's take a look. So the highs right here, it's saying 67. Like, I'm not digging deep. Yeah, this is just what pops up first. It's saying that it's going to be upper 60s, 67 during the days, and at low might get down to the 50s, right? I would double check that, guys, and then make a decision on depending on that. It may seem warmer because they don't have that. They're not going to be using air conditioning. Okay, so it may seem a little bit warmer, but it's not going to be hot like you're used to in the summer, or like it can be in Paris, like in June and July. Yeah, so definitely, I think jeans and t-shirt, maybe a little light jacket would definitely be fine. Keep those questions coming, guys.
Can we drink coffee on top of the Eiffel Tower?
Can you drink coffee on top of the Eiffel Tower? I'm gonna double check that one for you. I believe there's a cafe, yeah, or there's like a lookout view, but let me double check. I think you might be able to bring your coffee up with you. I'll double check. I haven't done that, to be honest.
Not my to-do list.
Just take it up to
Coffee on Eiffel Tower. I'll send this question to Kevy.
And even if they say no, just
Christian, I'm sure we have breakfast at the plug-in hostel.
Yes, you do. You guys have daily breakfast.
Is it
yes.
bread and water, or do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, it's the French breakfast, guys, is typically a croissant and a espresso and a cigarette. No, I'm joking about the cigarette. It's typically just a coffee and a croissant, something like that, right? That's a typical. It's very light breakfast. But where we're staying, they have a continental, so there'll be toast, there'll be jam, there'll be granola milk, some cereal milk, some fruit, and some coffee. Yeah, and then juice as well. So it's
Okay,
typically they have a light breakfast and then a big lunch.
So what time is like free time going to be?
Yeah, guys. So every day, typically we do something cultural in the morning, something educational. We might go visit a museum, or we might go on a walking tour, a historical or cultural or art-focused walking tour. And then in the afternoon, you have free time, and then also in the evening. So every day, if you look at a day being, let's say, 16 hours, okay. Let's say you sleep 8 hours, and 16 is the rest of the day. I would say about 4 of those hours during the day would be something educational and cultural. And then I'd say another couple of those hours would be walking, transferring around. And then I would say that the other half of that, the other 8 hours would be, free time enjoyment, eating, maybe going visiting cafes or going and visiting some local pubs or going and seeing some music or whatever. So yeah, you guys have adequate free time every day. It's the most important part. You need to be able to explore. So we definitely make sure that there's plenty of time to do that. And then during free time, we're going to provide you with lots of recommendations if you want our recommendations.
Are we good?
Will we have like any time to like travel to UK?
To travel to the UK, like to travel to London?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. I don't, it's not my style. I don't recommend it, like, personally, just because I think London's one of those cities that requires a week, if you want to see it properly. If you want to go and you just want to see a couple of the main sites, and kind of do a 1 day in London thing, then yes, it can be done. You'll take the Eurostar train. It leaves from Gare du Nord station right by where we're staying. Um, if you do decide that you want to do this on one of the free days, because you guys do have free days, if you decide that you want to do this, you should buy your ticket ASAP because it gets more expensive every day that it gets closer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How does the TGV work? Or T
The TGV, yeah, you said it right. Yeah, how does it work?
Yeah, so we have a free day. We can just hop on there and go down to wherever.
Well, yeah, I mean, depending. Do you have a place in mind already that you want to go visit in France?
Yeah, the South Coast.
Okay, so you want to go down to like Nice, for example.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, you could do that in a day. It's going to be a long day, okay? Because it's going to take 3 to 4 hours on the train from Paris down to the south. France is a big country, yeah. So it'll take 3 to 4 hours down to the south, and then you'll have a few hours, half the day, and then it's going to take you 3 to 4 hours to get back. Okay. If you want to look at prices, you can go to the website. I'll put it up here. SNCF. SNCF.com, and this will allow you to. It's a search engine for all of the trains in France. So you can go here to reservations, and you can type in from here to here, and it'll tell you the prices and all the times that it's going. But yeah. So yes, you can do that. And then there's also a lot of great stuff around Paris. It's not quite as far as the South Coast as well, yeah? So it might be worth looking into. But that's entirely up to you.
Okay.
Are we good here?
Guys, safety-wise, I'll bring it up because nobody did. Paris is very, very safe, guys, especially after what's happened this year. Security is on extreme, it's extremely high, okay? One of the important things we're going to go over with you once you arrive, it's the first thing that we do, is we'll have a pretty in-depth on-ground briefing, what to do in the case of an emergency, these kind of things, okay? We take that very seriously. Your safety is our number one priority, so we will definitely cover that with you upon arrival, okay? You're in good hands. Our local guides are great. You'll be safe. And then basically our main thing is just to be smart. Okay. So basically, we want you guys to travel in kind of in pairs in the buddy system, especially in the evenings at night. If you guys are going out, definitely travel with someone, and also make sure that, Professor Hinton or Kevy, someone knows more or less where you're going, okay? So that way, for some reason, if you're not back the next morning when you're supposed to be, then we know where to start looking for you. Okay? Everybody's adults. You guys, you can drink when you're there, but, we want you to keep that under control. You don't want to put yourself in danger. And additionally, you don't want to be that, that tourist. Don't be that person, be in control, be cool, and, have fun, of course, but keep it in line. We're not going to say don't drink wine when you're in France, obviously. That would be against the culture.
Okay, guys.
Any questions, guys?
We're going to have a good time.
All right. Guys, I'm going to send you all this information that we covered. If you have any questions at all in the meantime, shoot me an email. I'm always available. Check out your names. They're on the last page of here, very bottom. Check your names. Make sure they're good. Make sure to arrive at the airport, early, be on time, and get excited. You guys are going to have an incredible time. It's an amazing city, and even though you're going to be there for, only 9 nights, it's going to feel like a lot more because you're going to experience a ton. So, get ready to have a blast.
One last question.
Hit me.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Do you know the approximate distance for the embassy from the hostel?
Let's take a look real quick. All right.
Smart. And do you know what district the youth hostel is in? Is it the 18th district? Am I reading that right?
We're in number 9, right below the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah. So the U.S. Embassy is 13 minutes by car. You don't have a car, go by foot. It's a 40-minute walk directly down to the river. And then with Metro,
For our group.
they don't show Metro on here, but I know that you can get. I know you can get down to the Louvre area within like a 10-minute ride on the Metro. But walking, if you take into consideration walking to the Metro stop, 10 minutes, having to wait for the Metro, maybe another 5-10 minutes, having get out and then walk. You might as well just walk the 1.5 miles there,
We can do it.
And hopefully you're not going to have to be going to the U.S. Embassy.
And hopefully we're not going to have to go to the U.S. Embassy on your behalf. Christian, if we want to look at the webinar again, is it the same link?
No, I'm gonna once we end this meeting, I'll download it will convert it directly, and then I'll upload it on YouTube and I'll link it in the email I send you.
Very good.
All right, guys.
Good night, Christian.
Sorry, say that again, Sue.
Good night, John Boy.
All right, guys. Everybody, it's great meeting you. Thank you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And enjoy yourselves. You're gonna have a blast. Have a good evening, everyone. Goodbye.
You guys go ahead and sign this if you don't mind. I mean, it just